I was expecting you to say something along the lines like, if you're not speeding, you don't get pulled over, or because I just picture you as like Mr. Responsible Driver. Cruz said it only like 3 over.
Well, not just that. Since I drive so much, I try to keep it at the speed limit for gas mileage purposes, you know?
Of course you do. Of course
once you start going
do.
over 70, once you're over 70, you really start, it's like exponential how much more gas you burn.
Oh,
I know.
Matt. Our ways of thinking are so different. If you drive over 70, you get there faster, is my thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's happened before where I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm 5 minutes later than I thought. I've got an hour to get somewhere, and the speed limit's 70. Maybe I can go 75 and then make up that 5 minutes there. But then I'm also like, oh, this is going to cost me some gas mileage for sure.
Oh, gosh.
So if I'm running on time.
I mean, you got to put gas in your car anyways, right? It's not like something you're not going to do.
Well, but it costs more.
It costs the same.
No, if you have better gas mileage, you're paying for less gas.
You still have to put gas in the car.
But you're putting less gas in the car over the course of time, putting precious dimes back in your pocket. You
don't fill your tank? You only go so far, or you only let it go so far before you fill it?
No, I fill the tank like at the appropriate times. You know, if I'm down past a quarter of a tank and it makes sense at that point.
Whoa, Matt, you let it go below quarter of a tank? Whoa, that's not responsible.
Uh-huh. I'll let it go as low as I'll wait until the light comes on sometimes, Kate.
I play roulette. It says I've got 30 miles till empty. I'm
exactly.
Like, all right, we got a few more.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say 30 miles and everything there.
I have never been let down.
But no, I fill it up at the same time. You know, like I let the amount of gas in the tank dictate when I should fill up. But you understand the concept of getting better gas mileage means you use less gas, right?
I understand. You're still going to have to put gas in the car, Matt.
But in aggregate, you'll do it fewer times.
So it doesn't matter if you put it in this week or next week. You got to put gas in the car.
But you're putting less gas in the car than you otherwise would have had you been speeding a bunch.
You still got to put gas in the car, and you get places faster.
Well, that's like saying, oh, I should just drive a Hummer all over the place because I got to fill it up anyway.
I mean, if I had the money, I'm not going to lie.
If I got to put twice the amount of gas in there, it doesn't matter that I'm filling up every week or not.
Well, I am only attracted to gas guzzling vehicles. It's true. I had all the money.
Kate washes her car every day and
actually
floors it every time the light turns green.
Over Thanksgiving break, it didn't get washed at all. It was filthy. It was disgusting.
I can't believe this conversation we're having.
I know. But
so how long did you go between car washes? Because you were away.
5 days.
Away from your car wash is what we're learning, right?
5 days away from my car wash. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And I got 2 in one day this week already.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh man, because you're making up for lost time?
Because I drove through a puddle and I thought, oh, I'm going to drive right by it this afternoon. I'll just pop right through and get another car wash.
This is an automatic car wash. You like put a card in and then it...
Nope. I roll through it and they scan my license plate and they say, welcome back, Kate. And I go through and I put the car in neutral and I just coast through and I get through the dryers and I go on my merry little way.
Does this have actual people like
they wave at me
washing the car?
No, it's a machine, but they wave at me after, I get through.
Okay, I was just trying to see how fancy this was.
Yep.
And if you go to one of those car washes where you have actual people putting their hands on your vehicle, you got to tip those people.
Yeah. Now, there's no tips here. Okay. I think I believe you're right, because especially if you get out of your car and you wait and they do the detailing or whatever and they dry it off. Yes, I think you should tip those. Yeah.
All right. And in case any listeners heard it and they're like, wait, did you really just say that? You got your car washed twice in one day.
You bet I did.
Okay.
Because
unbelievable.
I pay $25 a month for unlimited car washes. I'm going to get my unlimited car washes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the sea turtles are just choking on all the car wax or whatever they're spraying on your vehicle, right?
Right. Because we're right by the coast.
Turtles. Yeah, it makes its way there.
Eventually.
The river meets the sea, Kate.
Eventually.
The river meets the sea. Yep, exactly.
Yep, and they have free vacuums. So probably every other week I vacuum out the car, which never happened when I had little people, when I probably should have been vacuuming every other day.
Is your car cleaner than your house?
Oh, hell yes. Yes.
Unbelievable. How much time do you spend in your car?
A ton, Matt. I am the chauffeur extraordinaire. And the commuting.
Right, so you're like
and
waiting in the car a lot?
We waited in the car, especially in current times when you can't go in places and you have to wait. So like Finley's got art class this week. It's an hour and a half, but it's 40 minutes from where we live. So it's not going to be doing the there and back because you know the gas mileage, Matt. But we do a lot in our car. A lot. Like my front seat. If you sat in my front seat right now, I'd be like, give me a second. Because I'd have to put things from my front seat to the kids' seats because it's my co-pilot right now. Got all the things I need in the front seat. You know, a roll of paper towels, hand sanitizer.
Have you thought about getting an RV instead of a SUV?
Yes, I have thought about that.
That would be hilarious.
Hop in,
you're
guys.
The family that drives an RV around all the time. Literally all the time.
Literally. I repurposed one of those Sonic caddies, drink caddies, you know? That's
holds 4 drinks.
Yeah, that's my front seat buddy right now. Got all the things in the caddy.
Oh, really? It's like wedged between
no, it's
seats
just
or something?
on the front seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can just grab it and move it if I need to let Matt sit in the front seat while we go to lunch. I can just pick it up and move it.
Let who sit in the front seat?
You, Matt.
Oh, okay, I was like, wait, who's this other Matt?
Who's this other Matt I should know about?
Wait a minute. You're not allowed to know more than one Matt. This is ridiculous.
Just pointing out, if you needed to get in the front seat, Matt, I could just move the caddy and be all good to go.
I'm fine sitting in the back. You can chauffeur me around.
Wrong. Absolutely not. You're sitting in the front seat.
Oh, okay.
I know. We're not going to turn on movies for you.
Girls still sit in the back seat?
They both primarily sit in the back seat. Every now and then I let Finn, who's almost 11, sit in the front. Elliot doesn't weigh enough to sit in the front seat, and she has sat in the front seat a couple of times, but it's not highway driving. It's just around the neighborhood and tootly toot.
Does your car yell at you when she sits there?
It does say that there's weight on the front seat, but not enough to turn on or off the airbag. So it dings a lot. It dings a lot. Yes.
Trying to fatten her up? You're going to try to fatten her up?
Well, I keep telling her she'll grow more if she eats her vegetables.
Oh, but I mean, get her to grow outward by.
All right, Whopper time.
Feeding her junk food. Yeah.
Whopper.
For breakfast, lunch, dinner. Going to wake you up at 3 a.m. and feed you a waffle.
Hey, okay. I do want to talk about eating real quick because your mom made you a Thanksgiving dinner, right?
Correct.
Was there enough for leftovers?
Yes, I got a couple of meals out of it. Actually, I should say I got more than just a couple meals out of it because I was able to augment some other meals. I didn't have enough turkey to have like 3 meals, for example, but I had enough stuffing / mashed potatoes and sweet potato casserole for like 4.
Okay. So do you still have Thanksgiving leftovers in your fridge?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay. Now, is it because you finished them or that because they reached their shelf life?
I finished them.
Okay. So
How about you?
I just read something that may have enlightened my life in leftover game, but that if you're still eating your Thanksgiving leftovers, you should probably throw them out because they say 3 or 4 days tops is what they should stay in your fridge.
Or move them to the freezer.
Or they should have gone to the freezer immediately.
Or by the 3rd day, right? So if they're still good on the 4th day, if they make it to the freezer by the 3rd, you're probably okay, right?
So the Department of Agriculture says they should have gone in the freezer after instead of going fridge to freezer.
You're going to believe the government, Kate?
I know, Matt, but here's the thing. I've had taco meat that was...
I'm being sarcastic, to be clear, for any of the listeners.
To be clear. Matt speaking in sarcasm right now.
Yeah, Thanksgiving conspiracy theorist.
You're going to listen to the government. What's the longest you've eaten something that's been in your fridge?
Oh, it's probably been, I believe we've talked about pizza before, the shelf life of pizza. And it probably has been pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe a week.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I'm kind of concerned about the the times that I've eaten food that are at least in that 7 to 10 window, like taco meat or meatloaf But if you heat it up,
these are leftovers specifically,
leftovers.
not food that hasn't made its way into a dish yet, because obviously raw ingredients will last longer. But.
Correct. But I'm just kind of second guessing. I mean, I didn't die, so that's good. I didn't get sick, so that's good. But they're saying 3 or 4 days after they're cooked, tops.
Okay.
I mean,
good to know. Well, I don't know. Are you scared about the stuffing that comes out of the turkey?
We don't do stuffing in the turkey.
Because it's scary or what?
Because it's too much work, I'm sure. We do stovetop.
Okay. Because wasn't there that deal where they're like, you shouldn't do that because of the salmonella?
That sounds familiar.
But it seems like, it's getting up to temperature. It should be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a food safety expert. I just play one on the radio.
I just pretend to be one. In previous years, before times when we'd have a great big Thanksgiving and we'd make the stuffing, I don't ever remember it being in the bird because we're making...
Oh, really?
There's not enough room for all that stuffing, right? If you're feeding like 30 people.
Correct. That's why you have both bird stuffing and
in
stuffing in a pan. You do both, yeah. Is what you do.
I don't remember bird stuffing. I know for my immediate family, we don't.
We always have both.
Does it taste different, Matt?
It's more like compacted because it's full of turkey juice,
But is it...
So it's...
I don't even want to say it. I'm kind of getting
the texture's going to be different. The texture is different in your mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't notice a taste test difference, yeah.
I'm trying to not say a certain word, so I'm trying to think of the words I can say instead of the certain word. So I'm going to say, is it juicier than the
pan? It's more full of liquid. What word are you trying to avoid?
I don't want to say moist, okay?
Okay. I'm familiar with moist avoidance, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, are you trying to not say like balls or something? What are you?
You and I both know I'm not very good about avoiding.
Does that taste like balls or what?
No.
Dog do?
Dog do? No. No.
Moist is the word. Okay.
Yeah.
When did this start? When did this whole aversion to the word moist begin? In general, for everybody. 15 years?
Probably high school.
Has it always been? Okay.
Probably high school.
Yeah. And I understand why. I won't go into detail, but...
I mean, I'm just curious do you prefer the turkey stuffing versus the pan stuffing? You're saying they're different in different textures.
I like my stuffing moist. But I'll have both. I'll have a little bit of both. Both the pan stuffing and the turkey stuffing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you want it moist.
Oh.
But, okay.
Oh, man.
Speaking of food, Kate.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store last night.
Okay.
And at the checkout, the cashier complimented me on how healthy I was eating.
Really?
First, she questioned me what I was doing with all that food. She was like, "Are you taking this back to some place, like for multiple people?" I was like, "No, that's all for me." It's like, "Wow, you eat really healthy." I was like, "Thank you. It took me a while to get there, but
all right, come on, Matt.
Yes, I kind of do.
Go through the list. What did you purchase?
Oh gosh, Kate, this is so.
Come on.
This is opening the kimono here. This is very. I think sharing your grocery purchases is a very intimate thing.
I feel like I could rattle mine off, no problem. Like my staples that I always get.
Without being self-conscious about it?
Yeah. Eggs, carrots, bread, milk, Little Debbie's. Okay, keep going. Tortilla chips. All right. What do you think were the top 3 things that she goes, "Oh, this guy's eating healthy"?
Spinach.
Okay.
Portobello mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
All those eggs. Probably being the biggest ones, but I mean, there was also tomatoes, Greek yogurt, Your favorite.
Good for you.
Some cheese. I got some cheddar cheese, the block kind.
Right, right.
I cut the cheese off. I believe we've talked about cheese before, right?
Yep.
Pre-shredded versus post-shredded.
Right.
Or unshredded, whatever. What else? It was all pretty healthy stuff, minus I bought some beer for the weekend.
Okay. Okay.
Because for anyone who wasn't aware, I took 6 months off beer and alcohol in general, and now I'm basically a Friday, Saturday with company kind of person. But
with company?
Yeah, if company's around. Yeah, if I have people.
Not with the company. Not like on company time. With company.
Yeah, you're right. We should start drinking on Fridays during the show.
It'd make for an interesting show. A little slurred at the end.
Right.
Some moments maybe a little defensive.
Outside of that, it's all stuff that most people would agree is healthy food.
Gotcha.
Broccoli. Yeah, broccoli was in there.
Any treats? Any like special purchases in there?
No.
No?
The cheese, maybe?
You didn't get like the Little Debbie Christmas trees or?
I did not. Never really a fan of those.
Oh, gosh. The Christmas trees, they're so good. They're elusive, too. Once you see them, you got to buy like 2 packages because you don't know when you're going to see them again.
And I tell you what, when she was complimenting me on the food, she was taking her sweet time explaining to me how she cooked up her various different, like kale, for example. She was admiring the spinach. And then she's like, oh, you know what? I didn't really, I couldn't tell what part of the country she was from. She's an older woman.
Okay.
But she was like, before I moved down to the Midwest, I'd never had kale before. And then she started telling me how she prepares it. And it was a really long conversation.
I was say, you're checking out.
We weren't holding up the line, but for all she knows, she was holding up my life. I was having fun, but
good.
You never know. Someone might be wanting to go on their way, but not want to be mean to the cashier. But yeah, it was interesting how she pointed out, like, oh, look at you.
Look at you, healthy pants.
Mm-hmm.
Do you always go through with the cashier? Do you ever do self-checkout?
Well, at this particular grocer, see, I don't want to name drop the grocer because I don't want a grocery store-wide memo to go out. Hey, stop talking up the customers so much about how healthy they are or how you're preparing your kale.
Quit snooping on their purchases.
Please cut it out. Stop judging the customers' food choices. But no self-checkout at this particular food place.
Okay, no. Okay.
Yeah, grocer.
I'm trying to think of the last time that somebody complimented my healthy choices.
All things equal, though, I will go to Walmart Neighborhood Market. There you go. That's a place that I've been to in the past where it's like, oh, that cashier right there is definitely going to be quicker than the self-checkout, and I should help employ cashiers, so I'm going to go to that cashier instead. You never know with those self-checkouts. You get stuck behind someone. Well, I got bananas. What am I going to do?
Oh. But, you're helping employ that cashier by shopping at that store.
That's right. And I think I'm a pretty pleasant customer, too.
There you go. Sometimes I like to do the self-checkout because I like the way, when there's people in front of you and there's people behind you at a cashier, like you're in such a hurry to get things out of your cart onto the belt that you don't get them organized the way that you want so that they get bagged the way that you want. Does that make sense?
Oh, you want to load up the conveyor belt in such a way that items get packed together?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
I want all my cold stuff together. I want all my frozen stuff together. I want all my produce. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I tried to do similar moves, yeah.
But if there's 2 little monkeys climbing all over you and there's people in front of you and people behind you, you're just like, get the basket on the belt. Quick, 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 quick. And it's very chaotic, it seems like. And then you get home 30 minutes later and some of your frozens are with your pantry stuff. So I sometimes go to the self-checkout just so I can get things organized the way I want it. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes it works.
Well, you might want to change the way you pack your stuff too, depending on how far you are from your destination. Like if you're going on a road trip or something, you can strategically use your frozen foods to keep your other foods a little bit cool.
Right. We travel with a cooler for groceries because we're used to driving long distance between. I say cooler. It's one of those soft coolers, like it's like a giant lunchbox, but it's an accordion. So
you can wear it. You can wear it like a satchel.
No, it is like a sectioned accordion lunchbox, essentially, like that insulate. What is it called? Like it's a I don't
Insulated bag?
Insulated bag, but it's an accordion and it's got a lid. So it goes in the back of the car. You can't wear it like a satchel.
Collapsible?
Collapsible. It can go from 5 to 3 or to 2 to 1. But anyways, we're used to having long drives from the grocery store to home. So I just started putting that in the back of the car. And
right. That way you can collapse the cooler and it doesn't take up all that space, but you can always be ready to fill it with groceries.
Correct.
Good tip, Kate.
Good tip. Good.
Because I don't keep a cooler in the back of my car.
I know.
And the only coolers I have are
for
hard shell.
Beer.
What?
I said they're for beer. No. What did you say? They're clamshell?
Hard shell. Yeah. Hard plastic.
Hard plastic. Gotcha.
Well, actually, the best cooler I have is styrofoam. Big old styrofoam one.
Big one.
Styrofoam does a great job keeping things cold, turns out.
If I had $1 for every styrofoam cooler I've bought in my lifetime. In my 20s alone. Let's just go with 20s.
So right now there's a bunch of sea turtles choking on styrofoam coolers from your 20s?
No. There's people who are like, wow, somebody left this styrofoam cooler? Why would they do that? This is a really good one. Because that was the logic behind styrofoam, is if we don't take it home, somebody else will.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've been using the same styrofoam cooler, which once I did not buy. It was actually a leftover cooler.
Yep.
It was sitting in our break room here, actually, at the radio station years ago. Probably 5 or 6 years, and I asked the boss, can I just take this cooler? It seems like we're never going to use this again. And he's like, oh, yeah, get that out of here.
Done.
Okay, thanks. And it's been my primary cooler. It just does so much better. I just don't have... Like, you can invest in those really impressive coolers, like the Igloo ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the brand. Is that the brand?
Yeti.
No.
Yeti's the big brand right now.
Yeti, thank you. Thank you. I have an Igloo cooler that's got the handle,
Yeah.
that folds down and too much warm air gets in there / cold air escapes. So a styrofoam cooler is a good way to do it if you can get that top secure. So
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, man, we learn and grow so much each and every day about groceries and coolers and
life
Kate
hacks.
Washing her car too much.
I hate that you say too much. I wash my car a lot. It's not too much.
Well, the water ultimately does make it back to the river and then gets filtered and then gets back into the system. It's not like... Many times people think like, hey, you're wasting water. The water's going to no, it goes back and gets refiltered and comes back at you.
I know nothing about the program of which they speak, but at the end of the car wash.
You, dear listener, may have drank a little bit of Kate's car this morning, in fact.
You're welcome. Because it's so clean, it's not that dirty water. But at the end of the car wash, you're going through the dryers. There's a sign that says, you wash your car and she gets clean water. And it's this little child in what looks to be a third world country getting a cup of clean water. So while you talk trash, little children somewhere in the world get clean water because I wash my car. I know nothing more than that sign, but... Even
on the unlimited plan?
Yeah.
So every time you get your car washed, they match a portion of the water used.
I'm not saying they match a portion. I'm telling you.
To hydrate a little girl in the third world country.
You wash your car, she gets clean water.
Yeah, I might need to inquire within.
All I know. Makes me feel good as I drive away, so I keep on coming back.
That's right. I am hydrating the world, one car wash at a time.
You're welcome, world. You're welcome. Hey, Matt, did you know it's we've moved on from pumpkin spice to eggnog?
Oh, Kate, I totally forgot about pumpkin spice. We were talking about it every day for a while, it seemed like.
A popular item of the season, but new season, eggnog. Love it or hate it, Matt?
Indifferent. It's fine. I don't know. How often maybe I've had eggnog twice or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of whatever about it. How about you?
I am not a fan, but
okay. I'm curious too what the intersection is for if you're really into pumpkin spice, because you and I are kind of indifferent to that. So if you're passionate about pumpkin spice, are the odds higher that you're into eggnog?
Right. But what I want to know, when you drink eggnog or have in the past, is it straight eggnog? Is it as a mixer in your coffee, or is it spiked with booze?
I don't think I've ever had it spiked with booze. Okay. Amazingly, you would think that'd be the only time potentially I would have had it, but
right.
I just feel like eggnog was never as popular as we've been led to believe. I don't know if I've encountered eggnog in the wild that many times.
I think eggnog are a lot like when you say pumpkin spice people. You either like it or you don't. right? Like, I guess you're kind of like, meh, but I'm like, no, hard pass, thanks. I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is it is a fraction the popularity of anything pumpkin spiced.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Had some great pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good for you.
Well made. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No leftovers of that, turns out.
Turns out, big hit.
Yeah.
Big hit.
Where those leftovers go. Where the rest of that pie go.
Big hit. Do you do it straight or do you put whipped cream on top?
I just went straight with it.
Oh, you're wild.
I know, Kate. I'm nuts.
Wild.
How about you? You don't like pumpkin pie? Is that right?
I had a Thanksgiving circa age 13 where I had a piece of pumpkin pie, and it was a regular slice. And then we were helping clean up, and one of my aunts was like, hey, we don't want to put away that one slice. Go for it. And it was a little bit bigger than the first slice I had. And I think my aunt thought she was doing me a favor by putting whipped cream on it and a good amount of whipped cream. And I think it made me kind of like too much.
Oh, yeah.
And I have not been able to do pumpkin pie since then.
Oh, okay. So you're saying back when you were 13 or something?
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Pumpkin pie was ruined for you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like, hey, we don't want to put this away. Go ahead and eat it. And I was in a pretty healthy eating part of my life then.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be helpful. Sure, I'll eat it. And then it was like, regretting my life choices at that point.
Pie in general is pretty rich, and to have a bunch of it.
And I am not a rich dessert person. Like, I think cheesecake looks amazing. Every cheesecake, it looks amazing. I cannot eat it to save my life. It's too much. Can't do it.
I haven't had cheesecake in a while. Cheesecake is pretty good.
Yeah.
French silk sounds really rich. French silk was a pretty rich pie. I'm not sure if I could tolerate.
Always look so pretty, Matt. They look so pretty.
Yeah.
And for people who love pie, I am so happy for you. I can't do it. And I'm not a huge cake eater.
So what are you eating, Kate? Just the
ice
Christmas
cream.
tree, Little Debbie's?
Christmas tree, Little Debbie's, and ice cream. All things sugar. Christmas tree, Little Debbie's. Matt, they're so good. Oh.
They've been around, yeah.
They just put a smile on my face thinking about them.
Yeah, it's coming through the radio.
I know. Oh, just like Little Debbie used to make them. The Christmas trees with the glitter and yeah.
Yeah, we've talked before about how much I like the Little Debbie brownies when I was a little kid.
You like the brownies. Did you like the Nutty Bars or oatmeal cream pies?
No. The brownies, and
that's it.
Nothing else I can think of from the Little Debbie line. Ding dongs, I like ding dongs a lot, but those aren't a Little Debbie item.
Swiss cake rolls are Little Debbie's, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's right. Well, maybe, I don't know. Also inferior to the ding dong. Pardon the expression.
Yes.
And I used to pick all the nuts off the Little Debbie brownies. I remember being in that phase as a kid. Get these out of here.
Really? Felt like it added a little something to them.
Well, I was a dumb little kid.
Okay.
I also used to get plain cheeseburgers at McDonald's. Now we know that's an abomination as a grown-up.
It's bad. So, bad, Matt.
I gotta have that pickled mushroom ketchup and the dehydrated onions.
Dehydrated onions. I would eat everything on a McDonald's cheeseburger except for the onions. I'd take a French fry and scrape them off because my dad wouldn't order them without onions.
Because he was too socially awkward about it, or what?
No, not socially awkward. Too impatient. He's like, I am not going to hold up this line. Just get them, and then you take off what you want.
Right, because this is back in the day when they would just load up the holding bin with all the different cheeseburgers, and if you wanted something fresh, you had to order it specialty.
All the cheeseburgers. Have you ever been to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant at is it Ameristar?
I have not been. That might be right. I have not been to the Chef Gordon Ramsay restaurant at whatever location, casino,
whatever location. There
I think you're right, though. I think I think there's one in a casino in Kansas City.
So he's opening a new restaurant in London, and on the menu there is a burger for $106.
Wow.
And if you're thinking the fries come on the side because it's $106, you're wrong. Those are $8 more. But he said you'll never have a burger experience like this one, ever.
Yeah, it seems like so many of the, I've told you I've watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares episodes, right?
Right.
And it does seem like a lot of those, it's smartly, I think, he saves the restaurants by being like, we'll have the best burger, And it does seem like that's something you can execute. And so I'm not surprised that he's focusing on an ultra expensive high-end cheeseburger or whatever.
It's a Wagyu sirloin patty.
I don't know what that means.
Wagyu
is some kind of
like
endangered species of cow.
Well, it's a really expensive meat, and I thought, now I'm confusing it with Kobe beef because it's Wagyu. I was thinking it was along those lines of, but it's
like Waluigi is the evil version of Luigi in some of the Mario series of games.
Yeah, very close.
That's what I'm picturing in my head.
But
is
you
it made
do
of a fictional video game character?
You do watch a lot of cooking videos, though. Have you heard of truffle pecorino cheese?
No,
okay.
I have not.
Me neither. Fresh black truffles and mayonnaise made with mushrooms, but I don't know how to pronounce these mushrooms. And you know mushrooms. CEP, CEP mushrooms.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know that, no.
I've never heard of them, but that's why the cheeseburger is $106.
I know it's like psilocybin is the name of the hallucinogenic mushroom, I believe, right?
Whoa. Wasn't expecting you to pull that one out, but well done.
I was going to say, it would make sense if it's that mushroom.
I was going to say, if it's those mushrooms.
A bonus, quote, experience with your hamburger. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you wouldn't care if you got the fries or not if they were.
Yeah, and I think you're only supposed to eat that burger in the presence of a professional. So
if just sign a waiver.
Yeah.
You can have this burger in a padded room.
Yeah, you're supposed to have, what's it called? What's it called? Like a guide or, I'm trying to think what it's called.
The Big Lebowski. $106 for a psychedelic mushroom cheeseburger with Gordon Ramsay in London.
There you go. But possibly there's no hallucinogenic mushroom on there.
Possibly.
Which not sure what is. But maybe a set mushroom is indeed that kind of mushroom. I don't know.
Maybe. But if you want the fries, it's another $8.
That seems reasonable, actually. If once you're already paying that much money, it's like, oh, yeah, sure, fries extra, that's fine.
That's exactly my thoughts on a lot of things that get me in trouble. Like this house that we're building. Like, we're already spending this much. What's $200 on shelves? We're already spending this much. What's another outlet for $150? Yeah,
or your own like deep fat fryer.
Oh,
your
man.
Industrial deep fat fryer. That way you can fry your own fries and various other things.
Right? Or a walk-in refrigerator. Or a sonic ice maker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The little rabbit turd ices or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Which I started looking online for those things, and I found some countertop ice makers that were reasonably priced. And Monty was like, oh, no, if we're doing an ice maker, it's going to be a big one for the garage. I was like, okay. Well, I want sonic ice pellets. Thank you.
Well, couldn't you achieve that with a big one that goes in the garage?
Oh, absolutely. It's just much further than what I was wanting to spend. I was like, I didn't think we needed a giant ice maker for the garage. I just wanted. Say
it was much further than you were willing to walk to get the ice.
No. I was happy with a countertop ice maker for $150. And now he's like, well, we're going to get one in the garage. And I started looking at those things. It's at least $2,000. So I'm like, oh, that's more than I wanted. That's more ice than I need. I can't crunch on that much ice. So
it's like a good challenge, Kate.
I know. How much ice can she chomp?
Right, because it's water, counts as your water intake.
Right.
And we agree it's good to hydrate.
It is good. When I was pregnant with Elliot, she was born in February, so mostly through the winter, I was craving ice, which one would think that you're just dehydrated, right? But I wanted Sonic ice, and I wanted to pick it up and eat it like M&Ms. And my thumb and my pointer finger, like I lost sensation in them quite a bit. Like you build up a tolerance because I'd get a Route 44 of ice and I'd just eat it. And so it didn't matter how cold my finger and my thumb were. I'd still, I don't know if it was exactly healthy at the time, but.
Do you think that like you then protected yourself against like brain freeze?
I don't know.
Or is that different?
I would think it's different. Brain freeze you get out of a straw, right? Do you get brain freeze?
Can you I'm trying to recall now. I do remember getting brain freeze out of a straw, I guess, but do you not get it just from eating ice cream fast?
I don't.
Off a cone or out of a spoon?
Yeah, I just get brain freeze from like sucking the straw. Got to get that slushy or the shake or.
Fairly certain I recall, like when I was a kid and we get like blizzards after a trip to the orthodontist or whatever. I'm fairly certain I got brain freeze then.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm thinking ices.
Yeah.
/ Slurpee.
Because slushies, they're so good. You got to just keep drinking and you're like, oh, so cold. Brain freeze.
Yeah. But I wanted the maximum frozen Coca-Cola in my mouth.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We do a lot of Sonic slushes in our car, in our family.
Yeah? What are the various flavors for the different family members?
I get lemon with strawberry, or I'll get the frozen lemonade with strawberries. Elliot likes grape slush. Before they discontinued green apple, she liked green apple, but now she just likes grape slushes. And Finley will go back and forth between a cherry limeade slush and a Powerade slush. And Monty is Mr. Cherry. He likes just a good old cherry slush. Boring.
That's kind of a classic choice. I mean,
yes.
Back when it was when your choice, like there's like a neighborhood pharmacy we went to when I was a little kid, and they had an icy machine. I remember really looking forward to that. And I think the options were Coca-Cola and cherry ices.
That was it.
So I could see that being a good choice to go to and bring back some of those childhood memories.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Those cherry Coke slushes, those were good, Matt.
Oh, so you're mixing a little bit of each together? Is that what you're saying?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you'd have that as an option, you'd get a little bit. I preferred more Coke than cherry. I wanted it just to be like a cherry Coke, but.
My guess is that'd be the most popular approach to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, so I'm still on like daylight savings time. Have I told you this?
No. What's going on?
Even with a bunch of days in a row, I continued to wake up like wide awake at 3 each morning. I was like, oh my gosh.
No.
When will this change?
When do you go to bed?
Anywhere between like 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Typically, that being like Sunday through Thursday.
Right.
I'll stay up later on Fridays and Saturdays.
Are you still doing your evening tea? Not your night tea, but like an evening tea?
Oh, well, the herbal tea that I have consumed in the past is all not caffeinated.
Right. I'm just saying, are you doing like a warm tea before bed?
Off and on.
Okay.
Like last night I had some.
Okay.
But sometimes I just am drinking water. I'm drinking tea less, herbal tea less at night than I was. So it seemed like I used it as a good replacement for beer for a long time during that 6-month stretch.
Right.
And then it almost was like weaning me off of needing some kind of flavor beverage at night. And then I went to straight water for a while. And then more recently, I think with the cooler temperatures, I've been more inspired to have some hot tea.
There you go.
Yeah, because in the summertime there, I would ice it. Because you can ice herbal tea also.
Right. Do you want me to bring you some melatonin to see if you like that?
I still worry that I might become dependent on it. And this is just kind of a one-off. Because I still sleep fine.
You just wake up.
I wake up too early. I would rather stay up a little bit later and wake up a little bit later.
There you go.
And then it's just weird that I've been stuck on, like, it seems like even with all the different, I mean, we've had multiple holidays, you know, because you had, right? No, yeah. I guess we did just have Thanksgiving.
Halloween.
Was there another holiday?
We just had Halloween.
Yeah. That was the same weekend.
Thanksgiving and Veterans Day.
But for whatever reason, I continued to get up as if it was daylight savings time. And it's something you would think would break pretty easily. You would think not getting up, but whatever.
Yeah.
Not so lucky.
Do you have a weighted blanket?
I don't. And once again, it's you think a weighted blanket would keep me in bed longer?
I think it would keep you asleep longer, yes.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where it's like I need to drink coffee at night or something to force myself up later if I want to. My biggest thing is, okay, you might be like, well, getting up early, who cares? That's good.
No.
You're not oversleeping or anything. But I would like to best sync up my clock with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that especially when the after times arrive, I want to hang out with friends, like a Friday or a Saturday night. Don't want to be crashing at 8 o'clock at night.
That is true.
So, yeah.
That is true.
But yeah, luckily on the weekend I can sleep a ton, you know, because I can cat nap and stuff. But man, I tell you what, it's pretty obnoxious to wake up wide awake on a weekday an hour earlier than you would prefer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I felt like that was the theme for any time we have a couple of days off. I'm like, oh, I get to sleep in. Nope. My body is wide awake, ready to go at wake up time.
It used to be the opposite for me when I was doing mornings in my early 20s. You know, where it's like, oh, great, now I got to figure out how to fall asleep before 2 a.m., you know, to get up like an hour. You know, I was so used to being just deprived of sleep because I'd go to bed too late.
Yep.
And now it's the opposite because I'm going to bed early and waking up too early. It's weird.
The things that your body used to do that's just like, nope, not going to do that anymore, guys. Not happening.
This is how you work now. Well, early to bed, early to rise makes a man/woman healthy, wealthy, and wise, Kate.
Yeah. Sure, Ben Franklin.
I was going to say, isn't that Ben Franklin?
I think so. And I think some things have changed since then.
Yeah, but yeah, Ben Franklin also said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
And thank God for beer. And
well, he may have actually said thank God for beer.
He may have, or he may not have. Maybe it was another internet joke.
But I don't think the internet was around then.
You don't think so? I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
What piece of fried chicken do you think Ben Franklin was?
One more time?
The thigh. What piece of fried chicken if you were to take the BuzzFeed quiz?
Would he be the thigh? Would he be the leg?
He seems like a leg man, actually.
He does seem like a leg man. Like, can't you just see him like grabbing it by the leg and like, ow.
The live chicken or the
bifocal? Not a live chicken. No.
What are you accusing of Benjamin Franklin of doing to a chicken, Kate?
Not a thing. Oh my gosh.
Let the listener decide on that one.